Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nanda Meliana KN. I'm from A2 2018 and my ID number is 18220162. Here I made this video because of my assignment from the subject English Indonesian Interpreting. And here I want to discuss or explaining some statement based on my opinion and my understanding about simultaneous interpreting. The first one is simultaneous interpreting is the process of listening to comprehending and then translating instantaneously the speaker statement into another language. For example, is like when you are interpreting Indonesian into English, so from Indonesian to English, and then from English into Indonesian. And the second one is in simultaneous interpreting that is a little bit different from the consecutive interpreting. What's the difference? The difference is in consecutive interpreting is have any pauses, so the speaker stop and giving a pauses or time for the interpreter understanding the statement and then start interpreting. But in the simultaneous interpreting, the speakers not giving any pauses or any time for the interpreter translate it, so it's directly interpreting. And then for the place, the simultaneous interpreting usually not in the same place with the speaker. It's usually the interpreter is on the booth, and in the booth the interpreter is divided into two people, so they are connect with the speaker by mic or earphone, and then usually the simultaneous interpreter is used in a large scale of conference, is not used in a small scale. So the simultaneous interpreter usually used in, for example, is liaison interpreting with a large, what is this, audience. I'm sorry, I forget. And then next, the simultaneous interpreting should have a public speaking skill. Why I say that? Because when you are being a simultaneous interpreting, you should have a public speaking skill, because you have to explain again or retell what the speaker is said before. Yes, it's like that. And then the simultaneous interpreting is in a large scale of conference, so there must be have a good public speaking skills. Next, the simultaneous interpreting is should understand or should can many of language skill, because when you are being an interpreter, you should understand minimum of 2 language. Example, when you are being an interpreter of English Indonesian, you have to understand Indonesian language, and the second you have to understand English language. So when you're being an interpreter from another language, so you must understand that language first, okay? Then next is you must need a lot of understanding about a lot of issues in the world. I mean, it's hard for you when you're an interpreter but you don't understand many of issues in the world. I mean, the example is this case or these issues is like COVID-19, the coronavirus. When the interpreter or the speaker said about the COVID-19 and then you don't understand about that issues, how can you translate it? How can you understanding it and retell it into your next client, when you talking when they talking about the coronavirus but you don't understand, it's hard for you, okay? So the interpreter must have a lot of understanding about issues or case in the world. Then I think that's enough for me. I'm sorry, maybe you have any statement for the simultaneous interpreting, you can share in my next video. Thanks for watching. And the last, I want to say, I know, or we all know that consecutive interpreting and the simultaneous interpreting is different, and the simultaneous interpreting is a little bit harder than the consecutive interpreting, because when the consecutive interpreting we can take a notes and start writing what the speaker says, so it's a little bit easier, okay? But the simultaneous interpreting, you must have a focus, lot of focus in your speakers and in their statement, because there is no pauses, but you can mengasah skill kamu dalam mendengarkan, in listening skill, because being an interpreter or simultaneous interpreter harus bisa fokusnya lebih gitu daripada consecutive interpreting. So thank you for watching my video. I'm sorry if my explanation is not clearly enough for you. I think just it. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.